Hello YouTube, I'm David Frankel. This is the Isle of Wight, and today we're doing the Isle of Wight line. So here we are on the Ryde Pier head, and we're now going to take the train into Ryde. We'll get off at Ryde St John's Road, have some breakfast before riding the rest of the line down to Shanklin. Of course, what makes this railway line so unusual is that it is operated by tube trains from 1938. They're the oldest railway stock on mainline railway services in England. Today I'm visiting the Isle of Wight, or rather, last September when this was filmed, I visited the Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight line is a unique anomaly on the British rail network for all sorts of reasons. For one, it's the only part of the official national rail network to be totally cut off from and disconnected from the rest of the network, mainly as a result of it being on an island. The rail network on the island, back in its heyday, used to look like this, but thanks to grumpy Dr. Beeching, it was reduced to just this section of line between Ryde Pierhead and Shanklin, today known as the Island Line. This section of line here, between Smallbrook Junction and Wootton, is a steam railway, which I've explored in a separate video. In 1967, the Island Line was electrified and old London Underground standard tube stock were put to work on the route, becoming the British Rail Class 485-486 units. In 1989, a new batch of old tube trains, the iconic 1938 stock, arrived on the island and remarkably are still in operation today, the oldest mainline trains on the British rail network. This is a 1938 stock tube train, if you can believe that. It's old. Smallbrook Junction Station was added to the line in 1991 to allow passengers to change to the steam railway. Trains only stop here to connect with specific heritage services. And here we are at the other end of the line in Shanklin, currently the terminus of the line, although there have been some rumours that the government are looking at extending it down to where it originally went to Ventnor. That's currently a journey you can make by bus, but not for us because we're going back all the way to Smallbrook Junction, from where we'll pick up the Isle of Wight steam railway. After something that's even older than this. Or possibly not, actually. I don't even know. This is very old. So here we are at Smallbrook Junction, where you can change to the steam railway. After riding the steam railway, I cheekily doubled back to visit Brading, which I'd read had a small heritage museum. So here we are at Brading, single track but with the clear remains of the old platform on the other side. Supposedly there's a heritage centre here. Let's see if we can go find it. Apparently not. Right.
Oh dear.
That was a pointless little extra journey. But hey, at least we got to see Brading. It's nice. It reminds me a little bit of Cromford with the footbridge and the abandoned second platform. All it's missing is an old station building, which is now somebody's house.
Two pockets in shape. Yeah. Right, see you later.
On this particular occasion, we've travelled to the Isle of Wight with a catamaran service from Portsmouth to Ryde Pier Head, but you can also make the journey from South Sea to Ryde on one of the world's weirdest forms of marine transport, the hovercraft. Hovercrafts used to be used on various sea crossings, including Dover to Calais, but that route had to be shut down after Dominic Raab couldn't find it. Today, the route across the Solent is the only commercial passenger hovercraft service in the world. That's definitely one to revisit for a future video. Returning to Ryde Pier, which has both a pedestrian and a railway section, you can see the remains of the original Ryde Pier tramway, which first opened in 1864, predating the railway along the pier, which opened in 1880. The two ran alongside each other for a long while until the tramway closed in 1969. So there's actually three piers. There's the pedestrian pier, and there's the rail pier. In the middle, I think this is was the pier tramway, which I think came first. The pier tramway was built, then the railway line, and then I think in 1969 the tramway got abandoned. The sort of stilts are still here in the middle. It's very decrepit. The old 1938 stock tube trains are on borrowed time. Soon they will be replaced to keep up a long tradition by rebuilt London Underground D-stock trains. Viva Rail D trains will also soon appear in services elsewhere in Britain on London North Western and in Wales. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.